Some good news here is that while L'Jarius Sneed does have a high chance of ending up elsewhere next season, Chiefs defensive backs coach Dave Merritt seems to be staying with Kansas City. He was interviewed by the 49ers last week for their open defensive coordinator position, but thankfully the 49ers, for whatever reason, went a different route. They ended up promoting their defensive passing game specialist, Nick Sorensen. I have no idea if he's any relation to Dan Sorensen. And then also hiring former Chargers head coach Brandon Staley to a prominent staff role. So the 49ers chose to promote in-house as well as bring on Brandon Staley over Dave Merritt, who is a 5-time Super Bowl champion as a coach. Well, okay, sounds great to me because that means Dave Merritt is staying. That's important to me because with Sneed most likely on his way out, the loss of both L'Jarius Sneed and defensive backs coach Dave Merritt would have been a big loss for Kansas City's secondary, both from a star player and coaching standpoint. I talked about why the loss of Merritt would have been so difficult in Friday's video in more detail if you want to see it, but basically, my confidence remains high about this secondary with Dave Merritt still around, even if L'Jarius Sneed is gone. Don't get me wrong, Sneed is a dog, but Merritt's one of the best out there. They still have Trent McDuffie, first-round pick they just got a couple years ago. He's still not even peaked yet, in my opinion. And they have other young players as well. Jalen Watson, Josh Williams, Najee Johnson. They just drafted Nick Jones and Chamari Connor last year. They got Brian Cook going into year 3, among others. Then there's also the draft where they can continue piling up on a couple of late-round DBs if they really feel like they need to. I'm saying all that to say the secondary is still going to be solid, though L'Jarius Sneed will definitely be missed. So, while the 49ers opted to not go with Dave Merritt, it was reported by Dan Graziano that one of the options the 49ers did look into was exploring the possibility of hiring Chiefs defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo, I can't even say that with a straight face, shortly after the Super Bowl. Spags' contract was up, and so hey, if you can't beat the Chiefs, pay their great defensive coordinator to come over and join you and help them beat the Chiefs if they can make it back to the Super Bowl. I get it, but the Chiefs ended up extending Spags for somewhere around $5 million a year on the morning of the Super Bowl parade. So the winners keep winning by keeping the best defensive coordinator in the game around. They got Joe Cullen, an incredible D-line coach. Dave Merritt is staying around. Meanwhile, the 49ers hired Brandon Staley. Nice job, guys. I'm happy for you, truly.